We're gonna cut through all the BS. This is Black Light, your motivator, Supreme Conscious Council of the Elders. This is part of what's going on for real. This is the real deal right here. Some of it. It ain't the whole picture, but it's a main portion of it.
We're being led, hook in our jaw, to war with Iran. Once again, American men will fight and die and bleed on a battlefield for Israel. And we'll clap and we'll salute the flag and we'll do all the patriotic things because our guys died on a foreign battlefield, but it didn't have to happen. It happened because Zionists control America.
You heard it straight from the horse's mouth. Let's go to the war room. See, the United Snakes of America, they need the black man still. They got him almost thoroughly brainwashed, fast asleep, mentally dead. Now you got all these people talking about Nipsey ain't dead, it's a hoax. Tupac ain't dead, it's a hoax. But in the meantime, in between time, you're getting tricked. And it's all because of your fascination and your attractiveness to do wrong, to be unrighteous, and your fascination with that paper dollar. Now, Iran is a strictly Muslim country that's not in bed with America. And they got plenty, they're sitting on top of oil wells. They got plenty money. Plenty gold, plenty oil. And they got a nice sized army. But they can't compete with the United States as far as modern technology and weaponry. United States know this. And they're accusing Iran of being the bad guy, the boogeyman, that's interfering with their plans, see. Because the Islamic currency or money system is not rooted in usury or interest. Here in the United States, they charge interest on a dollar. When you borrow some money, or when you get a credit card, or when you're late on your water bill, or your gas bill, your light bill, they charge late fees, which ain't nothing but interest. And in the Quran and in the Bible is against usury. Also, they charge taxes, which ain't nothing but usury. And Jesus was against taxes. Your preacher, he's in with the Zionists, because when every time you go to church and worship, you put money in that basket, that's tax. You're being taxed to worship because the state owns religion. Because they got that 501c3. They got to get that in order to operate, to be tax exempt. But they still pay taxes on other things, like your light, gas, other things. So they say churches and state is separated. So when you go to church, you be jumping up and shouting and talking about the Lord bless me with a new car. I was able to make enough money to buy me a new car. But look at all the taxes you got to pay in disguise. And let's examine what they are. First of all, you got to, in order to drive that car off the lot, you got to get full coverage. If it's a new car, you got to get full coverage insurance. That's a tax. The insurance is a tax. Otherwise, you can't. I don't care how much money you got, you can't drive that car off the lot because that car belongs to the state. Because you got to get your tags when you register your tags. It belongs to the state, just like the church. And the state, you paying to ride on the state's road. So this democracy ain't nothing but communism. Because you don't really know what what democracy really means. This country wasn't set up to be no democracy. It was set up to be a constitutional republic. That's what it started out. But the Zionists took it over. It was all a big trick. The fool the common white man, Caucasian man, because he would get too rich. And the reason why they came over to America in the beginning is to stop paying, really they was on a scouting mission, and the crooks, they let them loose to come over here to see what was happening over in America. And by them being criminals, they say, well, if something happened, we won't have no loss. So they came over here, and when the crooks, they say, man, we ain't paying no more taxes, man. We got these stupid Indians and these stupid black people. All I see is more money, more money, more money, chicka-ching, right? So we ain't giving nothing back to the queen. So they fought the queen not to pay taxes. And then once they won, they used they didn't use the Indian as commerce, but they used the black man as commerce. And they took all the land from the Indian and used the land as commerce. So you got to rent to live in America, and you got to pay to live, you got to pay to die. See, y'all can't see that though. So since they print the money up, they control you because you haven't found out yet that democracy means the majority rule. So if you're in a city like Detroit and it's majority black, you rule that. You rule that land. If you're in Chicago and it's majority black, the black man rules that. If you're in Atlanta and it's majority black, you rule that. But all your politicians and your preachers are paid off. And they get their money from your ignorance, from you not knowing. So when a brother begins to wake up and wakes his people up, they knock him off. And Tupac was trying to, you know, run a different kind of strategy. He was going to use, try to be gangster like you can't out gangster the Caucasian. He's the supreme gangster. So Tupac was going to use thugging. He was trying to get the gangs together so he could hook up something like the Black Panther, but you can't do it like that. Elijah had the right idea because he didn't call it no thug or nothing. He called it a righteous military. He said we were military. We were soldiers for righteousness, and that's why he was able to build up what he did, even though his son went against him, Malcolm went against him. He still done what he was put here for. He did his mission and he left away. That's when all the traders moved in. So all these brothers in OI, they living off of past reputation. They living off how they really used to be, because they ain't like that now. And you know, all these young dudes, all these young cats on YouTube, they trying to get their shine on, so they don't want you to peep what's really going on. Some of them is government agents too. Some of them is swindlers. Some of them is con artists. Some of them is this and that and the other. But if you hear one, uh, there's a few brothers that's you know try to be for real, and I think that they want to be true to the cause. I already told you who I thought they were, and myself. But I'm old school. I'm 72, and you know, see, our women, they just go for what physically attracts them. And if a brother sounds smart, they gonna check him out. But in this world, you got to do your own investigating. You got to read for yourself. So you sisters, y'all better listen to up with me. I'm gonna tell you what books to read. Read all of Elijah Muhammad's books. This is Black Light.